Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to another update from the Walking Dead Empires. I am Captain Zach Peterson. With me, we've got Superboy Brandon.
Hello.
Say hello. And Hardak Ian Scott, designer on the project. Welcome,
Hey,
Ian.
what's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Ian, there's something we're supposed to say to start off the broadcast. What is it?
Oh, be sure to join the Discord community. That's the best place to get a hold of all of us developers and take part in the conversation.
What should they do on this video?
Like and describe.
Maybe subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel so you can get all the streams that we're doing over here at Gala.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Crushed it out of the gate. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be hanging out for the next 30 to 60 minutes, somewhere around there, answering your questions and giving an update on the game. And we've got Ian here. He'll be playing the game while we're hanging out. So we'll be able to watch him doing a live stream, just kind of hanging out on our latest dev build. For those of you following along, we do dev builds that we play as a team every Thursday. Just kind of hang out, check out the progress on the game, see what's going in, give feedback to each other. And so it's just going to kind of be like that, except with Ian and a couple other of our devs hanging out doing our thing. You're going to be seeing some debug menus in there, some other stuff going on because it is our dev build that he's playing. So some stuff that you might normally not see. But this will let us kind of check out what's going on in there, see some new things, some new exciting things that are happening. And we'll be going down a little bit of a list as well to kind of talk about what's happening. So definitely ask questions as you're seeing it. I'll be hanging out in our Discord as well. So if you see, if you ask any questions in there, I will be answering them. So let's kick things off. So starting at the top, I've kind of got a list of new exciting updates I want to go through, but I think I'm gonna blow it out of the water to start, Brandon, because why not?
All right. What's happening?
The building updates here, because Ian's just right in there. He's making some changes to the base. I think the first thing you're gonna see is the new layout when you're placing down the floors, placing down the walls. We've been putting a lot of time and effort into trying to make this feel just better. Adding more constructs into the game. They'll be in there soon, but just making the placement feel better. You can see as Ian kind of moves around some of the different objects, there's a lot more fine tuning to where you can place them going on. So I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be a big change that's didn't get a lot of love in the last demo.
Yeah, and you'll notice the grid size change there when he was placing the bed versus when he was placing those floor tiles. So it gives you a lot more control over where you're placing things in your base. If you've played in the demos, you may have had frustration of, like where Ian's placing a table right now. You could put it right in the center of one floor, and that was basically all you could do. The visuals are also a lot more clear where you can place things, where you can't.
Yep, the art team's been working on resizing the objects as well to fit within the grid. So everything's just making a lot more sense as we kind of build up your home in the world, which is nice. The first thing people are like, do the form, talk about stuff. So I know that the main question is when is the game playable again? When's the next demo? I think we're honing in on an answer towards that, and I don't want anybody to hold me to it, but it looks like November will be the next time you all get to get your hands on it. So that'll be the next chance is early to mid-November. We're looking to get people playing in the world once again. So there'll be more updates as we do more of these AMAs, but that's what we're targeting. So keep an eye out for that. Looks like we got another one of our devs hanging out playing the game with Ian here as well. So that'll be cool as they kind of run around. Let's go kill some walkers out there, Ian, and feel free to debug, give yourself some experience, debug, give yourself some weapons as well, so we can show off some of the cool new stuff there. So yeah, we got some excitement around November. So yeah, hoping to get it in an early start on the holidays for everybody there. So, well, Ian is kind of giving him a load up there. Look at all those weapons. Nice start, Ian.
Wow, Ian's really good.
Yeah, I went a little overboard, but I'm cheating myself up big time.
Yeah, that's good. A neat thing is that the last time people got to play this, I think we had 6 weapons in the game. Is that correct, Brandon? Or do we have 8?
Yeah, but that has greatly expanded. I assume that's what you're getting to there.
That is what I'm getting to. How many do we have now?
More than I can count off the top of my head. I want to say it's in the 20s somewhere.
Okay, we'll say 20s somewhere. A good number.
Significantly expanded the weapons list. We've got variations as well. So you played the earlier demos, you probably remember like the baseball bat. But now we've extrapolated that into a progression of like a basic club, all the way up to like, maybe aspirationally Negan's Lucille.
I undersold. It's 38.
Yeah, it's
nice.
New content.
So a lot more progression, a lot more chasing the carrot as you level up and progress through the ranks. A lot cooler weapons. We've also got some. I'm not going to tease all of them here. We'll keep a few in our back pocket, but we've got some exciting ones that are kind of one-offs that you won't be able to just craft at your base as well. So a lot of exciting stuff has gone in from the combat team, getting that progression, feeling good. And I think that's one of the things that's going to really feel different next time people get their hands on it, is that this content is a lot more there, a lot more to play with. Run away, Pete.
It should scale up to you in a lot more approachable way. If you played in the demos before and you got yourself a weapon and you felt kind of overwhelmed with the choices and abilities on it, that will be kind of introduced more gradually, so you get time to kind of learn what different things do.
Yeah, and as we kind of go along here, one of the things that someone in the Discord just pointed out that I believe Smiling Monster was he saw in the crafting menu the dead coin logo there for the crafting. There are changes coming to the economy model as well. We are looking to do a 3 currency setup. So what you're seeing right here is not the final economy, but what we're going to have is in game there will be a currency known as scrap. Do you want to talk about scrap for a bit, Brandon?
Yeah, so scrap is going to be something you're using a lot of when you're crafting things. You're always going to need a little bit of scrap to put in there. You're also going to find it all over the world. When you kill walkers, oftentimes you'll find it. It'll drop from them. You'll find it in cars and garbage cans, where places you would find scrap. And so, yeah, that's going to be on that crafting menu, which is just about to get a brand new look, which will be much more clear. Yeah, so it's not going to be dead coin there. It'll be scrap.
And then we'll also have the currency gold, which is going to be our hard currency. You'll be able to receive when you have a premium account. You'll be able to purchase. In-app purchase, you'll get your gold. And you can use that to perform actions in game. There's so much exciting stuff that's come in since we last kind of showed people. But there's a shop menu we'll get to soon here. And then gold will also let you buy scrap from other players. So the gold currency will be used to buy premium, be used to buy cosmetics, buy stuff at the shop. So, and then we also have the dead coin on top of that, which is our in-game token, which will be the kind of the backbone of the play and earn economy, something you'll be earning while playing, and also be used to spend on gold in the game. So that is kind of our 3 currency setup there that we are rolling with, and you'll be able to hear a lot more about in the next AMA that we do. We're trying to get some graphics together and just a better explanation as well. But there's a lot of cool things being locked down. A lot of things we've learned from our other titles as we've gone live within the Gala Games portfolio. And I think we have a really awesome path forward with our just the economy and how we're going to handle it within the Walking Dead Empires. As you're running around, you're seeing, I think we've probably seen a couple of new walkers. Do you know what our total is up to right now, Brandon?
That's another good question. 10.
We should have Pete.
Yeah, we're
do have more than
constantly
that.
adding more variety, so it's kind of always changing. I don't. It's gotten a lot more.
So we have a lot of walkers in. There's going to be some that you only see in the higher rarity land as you go to. So those are going to only spawn within uncommon, within rare, epic. So as you go in, there's going to be more variety and kind of tougher walkers that you face. Pete's going to try to drop in a couple of the new ones next to Ian as he's walking around here, hanging out, doing his thing. So we'll see some of them, some of the new ones coming online, including I know one of Ian's favorite characters, Winslow. Maybe we'll get to see him running around in there. That'll be exciting.
If you're a big fan of the show, then you might know who Winslow is.
That is true.
One of the most fun parts of the trying to figure out what art we wanted to request for the combat archetypes, you could say, was looking to the show for inspiration. So there's a couple of really iconic characters like the well walker from the farm early in the show, and then later on things get a little bit more outlandish with Winslow, who is kind of like a cyborg of a walker almost. He's got metal stakes and spikes and really imposing look.
If you're unfamiliar, it's when Rick was hanging out in the dump with I guess we call them the garbage people.
I believe it is their name on the show. Yeah.
Look at this status effect though. This radioactive walker has like a noxious cloud around him. You can see the status effect icon on me.
Yep, one of the new walker types here who's been exposed to some radioactive waste and wandering around does an area of effect on you. Yeah.
You keep running up so close. I don't think that's wise.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to stay away from radiation. I don't know. Someone can.
Oh, look at this dude. Yeah, here he is. I just want to oh crap. I want to enjoy the art, but I'm going to get smoked if I get too close to him.
All right, we won't judge you if you get killed.
Yeah.
As you see the walkers poof into existence there, that's our other dev, Peter, dropping them into the world to show them off for us. So some exciting stuff happening there.
Yeah, Peter's getting eaten alive up there.
I see we got some hot dog vendors join the party.
Yeah, that was a really fun addition.
The hot dog vendor can drop a hot dog. It's not a guaranteed drop, but I've heard people talking about it.
And we've got the bikers, which might not be the first type of biker you think about when you think about a biker, but
biker.
Yeah, it's a great reference.
See, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, getting all of these models created, rigged, animated, and excited to be able to bring them into the world to add the variety, create unique drops, create unique. Oh, there was Winslow just ran through and knocked down a bunch of his friends there trying to get to Ian.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty cool to show. Just seeing how, maybe you played the demo before and you saw that we have those guys that explode when you kill them. And just kind of having these emergent scenarios play out, maybe utilizing them to your advantage, or if you're the type of player to do so, griefing another player by bringing a horde of these guys into their base.
Right, it's one of the things that really brings the world to life, and something we want to focus on as we add additional things. Like I believe we talked about before, the human enemies that we're planning on getting in there. And I believe we mentioned it before, but the animals in the world are getting pretty close. And so getting all those things to interact really makes the world come more to life and seem more realistic.
Yeah, and so you'll also see the ragdoll on the walkers as you take them down as well. So they're able to, on a kill shot, kind of fall down, ragdoll physics, adds a little bit to the world as well, rather than just the same animation playing. So just a lot of little touches within the combat system to make the whole thing feel a lot more solid and at the level we wanted it to be. So yeah, we have a couple of questions from the community here. A question, I think we can kind of walk through it in the upgrades and stuff too, but a question from Smile Monster. How will the talent trees and special skills work, Brandon?
Well, the talent tree is in the works of kind of getting modified versus like if you saw it get opened up here earlier. So your talents are going to control which tier of weapons or which tier of everything, all the items you can use. So as you level up your character, you'll unlock talent points. You can apply those to the different talent trees, which are more linear than a tree, I suppose. And that allows you to use higher tier items in that category. The crafting gating is going to be controlled by your base and what you have built there. So now the constructs, is what we call the things you build at your base. As you build and upgrade those, that will control what you're able to craft. So you will be able to use things, you'll have the talent to use things beyond what you can craft, potentially. And then, of course, the skill tree, it comes along with your character. Currently, each one has 2 different trees in there. Yep. And then they have a bunch of different stats in there. So same thing, when you level up your character, you unlock points for the skill tree, and then you can apply them in here, and you get bonuses and buffs depending on what you choose.
Absolutely. And that's, I believe, so Smiling Monster, as we were talking about it, it said that some of the combinations are better than others within the tree. And I would have to assume it was the man himself that pointed out some of them that were overpowered last time. I know Ian has been looking into that and trying to balance the trees. And we're not going to get it right the next time you play it. And it'll probably take a while to dial it in. But that's part of the process, is where's the game overpowered, where is it underpowered, finding that balance and doing updates. So it's not going to be a boxed product where we set it and forget it, but it's certainly a live service that we're going to be updating over time, making improvements to as we go along. So that's the best thing we can do is play it as much as you all do and get it going. So.
Yeah, and once the game is live, then the more data we're getting about the skill trees and usage and stuff, the easier it will be to balance that stuff. We'll have so much more data.
Yeah, and really that kind of leads me into some of the core tech behind the scene stuff that are awesome engineering on. We've got analytics plugging in so that big part of that is that balance and knowing who is putting points into what skill, who's performing what actions in the game, using what weapons. That's going to help us balance the whole experience, both for the end game users, the new game users, and make the best funnel possible to have as many people possible enjoy the game. That as many people possible is an important part. And part of that, as you'll probably see on Ian's HUD, is that there's a button that allows you to log into your Gala account now. You no longer will need to get the executable directly from the Gala Games website. And we wanted to make that as accessible as possible for as many users as possible. So you'll be able to post a link on Twitter, post a link on wherever, give it to your people watching your YouTube videos, and they'll be able to just download the game from that and then start playing. So there you go. You can kind of see basically right there, we have our login sign up flow. We were able to take that flow from some of the other Gala games. And I think it's just going to make it really easy for people to get into the game, into the ecosystem. And that's an important part. I think we're going to be the first title that's made this flow on the PC client. So we're pretty excited about seeing that come in and being able to get more people playing this next build as well. So, yeah. Let's go to another question here. We have one asking about kind of slotting heroes. So in previous AMAs, you said extra heroes can be placed on your HQ and crafting stations. Will having a higher level, higher rarity hero give additional bonuses, Brandon?
Yeah, so the higher rarity your HQ is, or crafting station, then the more slots it's going to have. which are slots that you can assign your heroes to so that they can do things. And then, yeah, the higher rarity that hero is, it's obviously going to provide better buffs than the lower rarity versions.
And then, so that was kind of asking as well. There's another question along the lines of that. I hope we answered it. But yeah, I think just slotting and being able to use your heroes is certainly like, we don't want to feel like if you have a lot of heroes that there's nothing for them to do. So that's kind of where, I mean, it's not going to come in the next build as well, but that's something we're building towards, is this concept of being able to utilize your heroes, having them doing something in your base, giving them a purpose, and then also being able to play as multiple heroes, to play as multiple accounts, and build up different bases. So.
Yeah, there were several questions that came in from the wonderful Doug Sunny that were all related to kind of that heroes, what you do with your extras and stuff like that. One of them was asking about if they'd be able to send their extra heroes to scavenge or go on missions and stuff. And we are planning a feature like that, where you can actually send them out to kind of accomplish goals. We've also got, I think we showed in our last AMA with some of the traps where you can then assign your heroes to those trap huts, and they'll actually go out and deploy the traps again for you. What else were some of these questions about the heroes? Scanning over them. Oh, there's lots of questions. I feel like we get this one every time about kind of what the rarity of the hero does. We kind of just touched on that. But the hero you're playing with, its rarity would determine how many slots it has as well. The daily tasks that you're given each day, where you'll be able to earn scrap, those will be scaled by the rarity of your hero. And then the renown that you would earn on leaderboards would also be scaled by the rarity of your hero. So obviously, it's always better to have a higher rarity.
Yep. I'm seeing a couple of questions coming in about land rush, land share. Still planning on doing a land rush at some point. Yes. Brandon's answer in the past has always been, we want to dial in the game before that people make permanent decisions on that, and that is still our answer. We will be getting completely set up, I believe, next month to be able to have our NFTs being bridged to and from Gala Chain. So that is a step in the right direction for us. It just gives us a lot more flexibility as a game team to be doing interactions with our NFTs. Another one that we want to do, it's on the horizon, is being able to do the merging of the heroes so that you can take your uncommon heroes, turn them to a rare hero, rare to epic, etc. So that's also will be enabled once we're on Gala Chain. So a lot of exciting stuff happening. It takes time to build, and that platform team is also busy with many games that they're supporting right now. So after launching Champions Arena and Poker Go, and more coming soon. So there's some busy bees, and yeah, and we're excited to be on the roadmap. So it's something that we can start planning as well. Okay, here's one that's a new one that just came in there. The Lucifer asked, can you talk more about the Empire in quotes for, I suppose, the Walking Dead empires? So it's a ways out, but Brandon, do you want to give kind of our thoughts on that, refresher for our audience?
Yeah, so the concept of the Empire is an alliance of alliances. So the core kind of functionality that we're working on now is for the alliance. And as Zach said, it's kind of the next step once we have that part finished, would be to connect the alliances together. This would be because your alliance has a limited number of players, you'll be able to compete on certain things as an empire. You'll also be able to share things across alliances if you are together in an empire. There's going to be a structure to empires, so it's not just a group of alliances. Like one of the alliances is going to be the leader of the empire, and another alliance or multiple alliances can be pledged to that leader. So it creates a big structure, kind of, like a Game of Thrones type thing with kingdoms pledging to each other and stuff like that.
Good answer. And then asking about the alliance size, is it going to be bumped up to 25 or 30? I think we had 20 to start. I think we're looking to probably bump it up to 25 in this next build. So good question though. Hey Ian, let's show the looks like, oh, you just got rocked there. Let's check out the shop. That's another thing that's gotten some love recently people haven't seen yet. So this is a new menu, a new system that's been added to the game. You'll be walking to a shopkeeper in the zone to bring this up. And the shop can give you access to various items that you might not be able to have access to right away. So you can check this out. It refreshes on a cadence for each player. It's instanced to each player. So it'll show you the items that you can receive. You can refresh it. You can sell your items to this, and then everything that you're seeing in there right now with the dead coin will be represented in scrap once you're in there. So, yeah.
Yeah, the shop's going to be a great way to get rid of the stuff you don't want. You may use something for a while, like it, and then get something better, like a new favorite weapon or something. And instead of just tossing the old one on the ground, you might be able to get a little something for it.
Yeah, so exciting new. We wanted to have the shop is a big part of the loop of the economy, so exciting to get that in there. This is not the final form of the shop in the end game of what we're trying to build, but this is a nice step in the right direction of what we're going for. So it's a very large system, big thing to get propped up, and we're excited to have it in there for everybody to get their hands on as well. So let's see here. Question from Nathaniel. What is the benefit of owning a land NFT versus free to play? So there's a couple of nested questions in there right there too. So free to play in general is we want the game to be as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. So just by playing free to play, you can get in there, enjoy it, have a good time, level up. There will be in-app purchases that aren't just NFTs as well. And then there will also be ways to use various NFTs within the game. So there's, I'm sure, a lot of reading within the Discord. Doug Sunny can answer a lot of the questions, but the high level is the heroes give you access to play as different characters in the game. The higher level, the stronger they can be, and the more different benefits that gives you. The land right now gives you the ability with our influence system to not have your base eaten into by other players. So if you play next to other people, the influence can eat away at a base as the person next to levels up. So that'd be the big thing. And then the crafting stations give you access to create higher quality items within there. So those are our three main categories of NFTs that you can use to play in the game. And then free to play is just access it. You have access to pretty much everything within the title by just playing and having a good time. And we all want that because we want as many people as possible playing and enjoying the game.
Yeah, all the NFTs that you own will help you to earn renown to compete on the leaderboards. So that will be something that's not available to the free to play is the leaderboards. But like Zach was saying, we want as much of the gameplay experience available as possible, so you never feel walled off or like you are only getting half of the experience or something. We just want that enhanced experience for players with NFTs. And
here's a good question. This is a nice leading one that we just came in here from Emmanuel. They asked, for the next playtest, will we be able to visit inside buildings? Good question. I think we've teased dungeons before, and I think they've been posted within the chat. Ian, do you know how to port within the police station? Do we have the police station in this one?
I should be able to take us to one of the dungeons.
We're doing it live.
So, it was liberating to hear that we could use the debug menus.
Yeah.
It's a little inside baseball.
Two different kind of concepts that we're working on. This is one of them. This is our dungeon system. This one's still a ways out. You're going to see the beginnings of it here as Ian and Pete hop in. They can start taking down the walkers. And this is, so we'll have dungeons within a menu, single player, multiplayer. And then also within the world that you'll be able to go into and load into. These will be instanced. Oh, you just got beat down pretty bad there, Ian.
And did not help you.
You did not. So we got the beginnings of our system here. We have our designers starting to spec out what these dungeons are going to look like, how long they should last, what the experience is going to be like. The art team is working on starting to block it in. What you're seeing right now is, I'm glad Chris isn't doing the the AMA with us right now, Brandon, because I think he would be like, "Why are you showing this?"
Artists
So,
like
but
to
it's
wait till things are nicely polished.
yeah. So work in progress. This is basically blocking in the structure of it. Still working on getting the walls fading out as you're walking behind them. But it really kind of shows off the promise of having what these dungeons can do. The walkers are a lot more dangerous in the tight corners. We're going to be able to do more monster closet style spawns where they can come at you. And yeah, so it's just kind of exciting to see this coming online. We've also got the building interiors tech that's coming online too, which will probably be coming on before the dungeon. So I think in the next build, you'll be seeing the building interiors. So you can walk up to a building, go in, raid that. It'll make the world feel a bit more alive. But the dungeons we're also pushing towards. We have a chunk of the team pushing towards that and building it out and making it a core part of the game.
Yeah, and one of the questions I had seen come in had been about the buildings and where they would find them in the world. And I think they were speculating about if, there'd be more buildings to enter in the higher rarity zones, and that's exactly correct. So whoever asked that, you got it. The common zones, as you guys have seen, are mostly just woods. And then as you progress into the higher rarity zones, those are more dense. I guess they were more densely populated pre-apocalypse, but I suppose still with walkers. But those will have a lot more buildings that you can enter and stuff. So when the space is taken up in the world, it's not just blocked out. You can then go inside of that building and still have places to fight, places to scavenge, places to hang out and hide.
Yeah, we're looking at giving you some meaningful reasons to go out and seek out certain, residential or some of these subterranean or otherwise buildings that would come in the form of unique loot that you could use, potentially even a class of item that you have to go searching for. So we're pretty excited about putting together a lot of the systems we've been working on to not only give you meaningful loot, but also to incentivize and create hotspots around some of these areas.
Yeah, and the dungeon, the one that Ian's running around in right now, would be sort of a way to prove yourself almost. So when you go to upgrade your HQ, there will be requirements to have completed a certain dungeon. So you'd have to travel here and beat this dungeon so that you can get that upgrade.
And we have a question coming in from NFT Chuck on the dungeons asking about dungeon bosses. So there will be boss encounters more so than bosses themselves. If you watched the last Walking Dead series, The Dead City, they had a Rat King-ish boss in the sewers, kind of a tangle of walkers. It's one thing that we're toying with, but within the world of The Walking Dead, there's only so much you can do with the walkers themselves to create a boss encounter. So more of the composition of the walkers combined with the human enemies will be more of your boss encounters. So that kind of creates the danger combined with any environmental hazards. There won't be massive 3-story walkers.
Well, we'll see what the AMC does with the upcoming shows. They may surprise us. Maybe Daryl comes across something in
Daryl Dixon fights a walker that's the size of the Eiffel Tower, then we'll have it. Otherwise, we gotta stick in the universe that we're in. That said, if anyone's watching the Daryl Dixon show, you may have seen a new walker type on there that is like acidic and well, I guess I shouldn't spoil the show because it's not even a week old at this point. But go and watch it, and just know that
Episode 1. It's a small spoiler. Yeah, everybody should definitely go check out The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon on AMC right now. Yeah, it is got some cool stuff. I think it's a cool, fresh take on the world. A lot of neat things are going to be happening over the course of the season. But in episode 1, yeah, as Brandon's alluding to there's a neat twist on the walkers. So
we get very
Yeah.
excited about anything we could potentially leverage when it comes to combat, and to use that term again, archetypes. But basically, anything that we can assign a role to for combat is a win as a developer, because obviously we don't want you just fighting the mindless horde all the time. Like making you make tactical decisions based on the type of walker you see is it's a win for gameplay. So yeah, it's very exciting to see things like the Rat King Walker or the Walker you guys are talking about with the new series. It gives us a lot more freedom to do things that might lie outside of your expectations for a Walking Dead game, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. We want people changing up their weapons and strategies and different encounters, and making interesting choices.
Yeah. Question on the dungeon system. Smiley Monster asks, will there be a party and raid system? Yes, that is planned. It's a ways out. But we do want you to be able to party up and be able to play with your friends without having to be in the same alliance or having to be the same level. But that is something that we're looking towards adding. I think it's like all of us love playing games together. We do play a lot of other kind of off the shelf games with each other as well, to just stay up on the latest of what's fun out there, and to just be able to have a moment outside of our own titles as well. And the party systems in games is a great way to be able to play anything with your friend and just be able to chat and engage in dungeons and other content.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned it in our last AMA, but one of the dungeon categories that we're working on creating is specifically for parties. So like the dungeons will be designed for multiple players going in there at a time. We may potentially not even allow you to enter with, on your own. You're going to have to party up with someone.
Okay, going to our questions. The wonderful Doug Sunny collected for us going into the AMA here. So we'll go to the next question I had on the list of how do you plan to keep this game fresh and players coming back long term, if that's even the intention? I think that's the intention, Brandon. Do you think that's the intention?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's always the goal, right? Like, I mean, that's my job to keep things interesting. We're all working towards making the game fun and lasting, so that you as players can enjoy it. So, we're going to be continually adding features, improving things that are there, balancing. We're going to be running a lot of live events and stuff that are changing as the game evolves with the player base. So I think that it's just, that active development and active live ops is the plan to keep everything fresh and interesting.
Yeah, and as we release, there's going to be a lot of updates that happen as well. So we do have, I saw a question come in at one point about kind of like the multiplayer content. Those are things that we want to be able to get in there. We want to have battles over the different zones. We want to be able to have PvP events. And so those are things that aren't going to be in right away, but those are sort of items that will come in as we update the game, as we create new events, new content. New characters from the world of The Walking Dead will be, able to be played, come into the game. So there's a lot we plan on doing, a lot we plan on updating, and just constant balancing of the game as well. So it's we've been creating this to be a live running, very long-term project, and that's what we're planning on delivering. So.
Yeah, other things coming out, like someone had asked the question, will we get more characters like Shane, Lori, Andrea, Dale, T-Dog, and Jesus, and Enid? They just listed out a bunch there. We are working on more characters. So those will be things that kind of get dropped at times. I guess I won't reveal them now because I think we have plans to reveal them later. But I can confirm that some of the ones on your list we are working on.
I can confirm I have heard of those characters.
Ian may accidentally click on something and make them show up in the game. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best not to step on my own feet here. So we showed Winslow. I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winslow is definitely one of my favorite additions. I love that character too. So seeing him in there and charging is great. The Well Walker will be another one that once that's in there and happen across him in the game, that's going to feel good. So.
Just to bring it back to Discord, like when we have seen people in the past post some of their favorite unique walkers or characters, it definitely gets us really excited on the team to see something, even if we can't talk about it. Sometimes we get a little creative with our words or whatever, but it's very exciting to share that anticipation with all you guys, because like if it's cool and it's in the shows, know that we're working really hard to make it really cool in the game.
So we have a question here about moving resources and vehicles. I think one thing that we are working on right now is creating a fast travel system. I think that was kind of a pain point in the last couple of demos, especially when trying to go play with your friends, move around the map. So in the next build, you should expect to see a better movement system. So being able to fast travel to city centers, be able to fast travel to your friends, and just being able to go into the world that way. So it should be a little easier. You shouldn't need a big vehicle. But speaking of vehicles, there was a question. The answer is no, but it was kind of a cool question. Will there be an RV that could work as a mobile base?
Yeah, that seemed to be kind of a trend with the questions. I saw a lot of them about driving around. The RV. Someone was asking about horses. So it seems like there's a lot of desire to ride on those things. That's not something we're currently planning. But I guess if you guys are really passionate about that, then you can change our minds.
Yeah, the any sort of like actual movement in a vehicle is a huge undertaking,
Yeah.
Especially in a game such as what we're building. I mean, it's
I think the desire to have that is also probably just because the fast travel system is missing. Once you're able to more quickly, get to where your friends are and stuff, you won't feel the need to take a taxi there.
Yeah, I think we should add a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Nintendo style overworld map that you kind of like cruise around in your
turtle van.
Yeah, we could have the RV and you just cruise around and get to this.
All right, I'm on board as long as it shoots pizzas out the front.
Yeah. Technical question from Smiling Monster there. Will Tweety be on one world or several servers? So, I mean, it depends how technical you are, Smiling Monsters. So it is, each zone is technically its own server, but it's kind of combined to be one continuous world. So as you go from zone to zone, you're playing on different servers, but it is like the whole game is within one world. Your alliance can be anywhere within the world. Your friends will just always be playing. Your character is just persistent across any zone you're playing on. So I would, I think it's classically considered a one server sort of a MMO game. But that's the slightly more technical answer to you there. There was a question about going into the structures and going onto the roofs. We will be able to support multi-level structures within it, but not roofs. So for the most part, like if we had a office building with a couple of floors, you could go floor to floor. Wouldn't be able to like fire down on the lower floor, but you could have something that feels like it has a verticality to it through that. So, and you won't be able to go onto the roof.
Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest kind of like concepts we have for the interiors is, climbing that office building where you're, going floor after floor, and you're kind of just getting farther away from the regular game world. You're getting deeper into the building, kind of like a dungeon, but a vertical dungeon.
Yep. Here's a hero question for you: is why are there only common original characters? Will they the most rare to have? I'm not reading the question correctly, but why only common of our originals, Brandon?
Yeah, so we wanted to place an emphasis on the characters from the show, and so the ones that we've created, we added them as common, whereas the characters you may be familiar with from the show, they're available all the way up to ancient. So as the question asker asked, yes, presumably the Gala original characters would be the least likely ones to see all the way up to ancient, because you'd have to gather up 3 common and merge them into an uncommon and so on. And that would take a lot more effort than, just getting yourself an ancient of one of the characters from the show. But yeah, I assume someone's going to do it. So I'm glad that there's love for our created characters. They'll be there with everyone else. We've also got some new ones that you haven't seen yet. So more surprises.
Yeah, super talented art team making cool characters happen. I really like how our originals have fit into the world. Maybe someday one of them will show up in a show. I got to keep pushing for that. That'd be exciting. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I would love to see it. Talking about the characters, I touched on it earlier, and kind of with the currencies too. But we are still working on bringing the merging of rarities into a higher rarity for the characters. Trying to get that into players' hands. That will cost dead coin as you do it, so you'll be able to level up your hero, merge it with others. So if you have an uncommon Daryl and you level him up, get a couple other uncommon Daryls, you're able to then merge him into a rare. So that will take that and then take a little bit of dead coin for that as well. Whoa, there's the ragdoll.
Yeah, I was hoping you noticed. It's hard not to have your attention drawn by those bodies flying everywhere.
That was fun. Yeah, I just want to drop the mic and kind of walk away on that moment. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's easily one of the biggest changes to the feel of combat is just having the bodies react with the physics. And then, yeah, geez, it is absurd.
Yeah, there's some excitement happening here. I'm going to say we got probably about another 5-ish or so minutes, so we'll keep answering some questions. We're going out on a bang here. This is exciting. So let's just keep asking your questions in Discord. We'll work through a few more of the stored up questions. We'll watch walkers get flung up towards the camera as Ian runs around and tries to survive.
It's like going out with fireworks, essentially.
Yeah, we're reaching the grand finale. So we had Smiling Monster asked, will levels be transferred, or will the new rarity hero reset to level 1 of as you're going up? Do we have an answer to that one, Brandon? Do we have a working theory?
Yeah, it's something we've been thinking about. Well, at least I know I've been thinking about it. I think in the past I had said that it would reset, you'd merge the 3 together and then you'd get a new higher rarity hero. But as we discussed it further, it does make sense that the XP from the heroes you're merging together would be retained. The exact formula for how much of that is retained, I don't have to tell you, but it will matter. So if you've got a hero you've been playing with for a long time, like your example, Zach, with Daryl, and then you get 2 other ones that you haven't really played with and you merge them together, it may be an average of the experience that gets into the next one. It may just be the sum. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. But it does also kind of make me think. One thing we forgot to call out is an issue we had in the previous demos that kind of felt bad as a user. We were able to take user feedback on it too. Was when you transferred your base as you leveled up. If you're a free-to-play player, you start in the common zone, get to level 10, that unlocks the uncommon base. Now, when you go to the uncommon place, it no longer resets to level 1, which is which feels so much better. So placing down the level 10 base, upgrading from there, and the uncommon going through, it just makes it feel like you're making forward progress rather than just being kicked and having to start from scratch. So
the goal is to feel more like you're moving rather than blowing up your house and starting life over again.
Yeah, yep, and it's feeling good. It's getting better. The waves do get harder. I saw that as a question earlier too. So as you're leveling up, there's new walkers in each zone. The walker types will be able to mix in as you get to higher level HQs into the waves. So the whole progress is going to feel like it's getting harder. That there's new challenges as you're upgrading your HQ in those zones, and now you won't have to replay those early HQ levels. So. Okay, I think we got maybe one more question. Anything standing out to you, Brandon, as you're looking?
So there was one question, and I guess you touched on this a little bit earlier, but they're asking if there would ever be a war or a siege or something that would allow them to engage in PvP in non-PvP areas. And the short answer is yes, maybe with an asterisk to maybe. But yeah, we're working on an event that's like that, sort of like a purge or something, where all of a sudden PvP is everywhere. And obviously the people who are not interested in that would need some way to sort of protect themselves and their progress and stuff like that. So we got to work out the details, but yeah, we are trying to find ways to integrate that PvP everywhere, and it wouldn't be a permanent thing. It would be during the event. But yeah, it'll be more fun that way if it can spread out beyond those battleground zones.
Absolutely. Okay, and then I have a question for the Discord community here as we got the last couple of minutes. Is hopefully you liked this. Hopefully you want us to do another one about a month and a half, 6 weeks or so from now. It is enjoyable to get in front of you. We're doing this one because everybody said do these more often, and here we are. So did you find it valuable? Hopefully you did. Leave a message in the Discord. Ian, what should they do on the video?
Subscribe. First and foremost,
Yeah.
Subscribe, please.
Like it. Thumbs up.
Like us. Subscribe us. Leave a comment. Smash that like button.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for hanging in there on the Discord. We'll do another one for you all, and keep those questions coming. The one and only Doug Sunny will keep putting them into a doc for us, and we'll answer them. And we love hanging out with you. It's great doing these and seeing the questions coming in live. Thank you, Hardak, Ian, Scott, for joining us. It's been wonderful. And Superboy, Brandon Godfrey, once again, wonderful to have you on board as
Happy to be here, Zach.
Thanks for
blab
the
our
invite,
lips
yeah.
and have
Nice
a good
way to hang
time.
out.
Thank you, everybody.